right, sing this part with us. Come on.
Hey there, Sam Ashers, and welcome back to the Spotlight. We're here at Warped Tour 2017, hanging out with Hawthorne Heights. And you know us at Sam Ash, we love gear. We know you love gear. We have Mark here in the band. He's the guitar player to give us a rig rundown on what they play. Mark, thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, we
It's
appreciate it. Can you take us through it? What do you guys use?
Yeah, we'll start here with the Blackstar stuff.
Is this yours?
This is my rig
Okay,
that I'm
great.
using on this tour. First tour working with them. They've been an awesome company. We've used it. We did a 2-week headlining tour through Canada, and now we're out on Warped and have had no issues. Probably my favorite amp I've used live.
That's great.
I use the 100-watt HT stage.
Okay.
I love it. I tend to have it a little more towards the British setting. It's cool. It's got this cool ISF thing, so you can kind of blend the vibe and the tone from British to American. My favorite thing about this head is I get what I want, like the crunch channel, but anytime I've had an amp where I like that live, I feel like I always have to settle on the clean channel. Not with this. This thing, the clean channel rules. It's
nice.
It's awesome. I can't wait to record with it. I'm using the first crunch channel as my main channel, and then the clean, and then I'm using the second overdrive with the voicing set on a little more of the kind of high-end treble. I'm using that for kind of some of the heavier stuff.
Would you say that OD1 with just that little bit of gain is for kind of like the shimmery sparkle overdrive, and then maybe OD2 is for a little bit more of your aggressive stuff?
Yeah, OD2 is definitely more of like kind of the chunka,
Sure.
like the, not that we're heavy, but the heavier stuff.
There you go.
And then OD1, I'm really kind of pushing that. I mean, but still, even that, like, I'm there, and it could go to there.
Right.
And like we
got lots of room
we
left.
push a lot of. I mean, we're still a heavy distorted band, and like you got a lot of headroom with this amp. That's why I love the 100-watt. It rules.
How do you feel about the 100-watt as far as like power and stage presence? Because I know, you have to balance miking with what's in the board, with what's in the speakers. You feel like the 100-watt is that nice, perfect tone for you?
Yeah, I mean, I love. I mean, we're playing an outdoor festival, and I tend to crank, and
Sure.
And outdoors, I tend to crank up even more because it's one of those things. If you're not in front of the amp when you're outside, it just goes away.
Yeah.
And I'm running, if that's 10, that's maybe.
Oh yeah, that's sure.
On my master, and I have plenty of headroom on this amp. So
Excellent.
It
That's great.
rules. And it's cool because a lot of it's an all tube amp. A lot of all tube heads, I really feel like I've got to a lot of old Marshalls and stuff. You got to crank it to get the tone, like that sweet spot. This amp, if I get it above 3, it sounds any volume. It sounds awesome. So I don't have to use an attenuator or anything. I can get what I want at a low volume, and it sounds great cranked too. And we're using the Blackstar 412s.
412 cab, 100-watt head.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, man.
Then over here
wrong.
is this is JT's rig, our singer
Cool.
that plays guitar. He's using the 50-watt version of the same amp I'm using. He never goes to clean channel, so he's using just the regular crunch on this, and we've found that the combination of this for him kind of tucked in with the rhythm with what I'm doing. The 50-watt sounds awesome.
Great.
It's and the same thing, even at 50 watts, you can see he's at 4 and
Sure.
plenty of headroom.
Right. So that balances well for you guys.
Yeah,
100-watt, 50-watt.
It's been a really cool
Great.
cool
That's
mix.
excellent, man.
This is our backup. I always tease him that even though he's playing rhythm, I'm playing the guitar, that he has the bigger case. But we put the backup that's on stage. We have a backup that's back here with our tech Blake, and then a backup that's on stage, because a tour like Warped Tour, there's no sound checks. All these bands it's just throw and go. When one band's playing the stage next to you, Blake and our guys are out here, we're setting up, and then you do a quick line check and go. So if something went wrong, we have a backup on stage ready to go.
There you go.
But this is the Blackstar Series 150-watt. These things are rad. It's a little more high gain than the Venue Series, but they're fun. I played these for a couple shows in Canada. I played the this Series 150-watt is for fun at a club show because it wasn't encased. It wasn't
Right.
in space easier to take in. And it was super rad. I was throwing in some Van Halen squealies and
There
stuff
you
for
go.
the set. And
Well, and this has to be rad for a night show too, because you got the open grill. You can see the tubes warming up and really glowing.
Yeah.
That is a stylish head. That's very cool.
These are cool because of the vintage vibe, and these are these are like everything I've always wanted in an amp. And these are kind of a little more the modern thing, and These are super rad. You can get a lot of sweet tones. This is super versatile head right here.
Awesome. So you kind of abide by the Blackstar motto, the sound in your head, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they want.
Yeah,
you know?
that's great. And he's playing the same 412 cab as well.
Okay.
So
what's next?
let's do guitars, man.
Sure. Yeah, man. We are definitely a guitar-centric company for sure.
We'll start with this guy. This is a Guild that
look at that.
I played on some of this tour. It's been super cool. We've got a Duncan, a JB that I put in there. That's kind of my pickup of choice. Duncan's been a rad company to work with over the years. They've always been super supportive. I've grown up an SG guy kind of my whole life, and
sure,
always kind of come back to this. But this is one thing I really dig about this guitar. Feel how heavy that is for an SG.
Oh yeah, okay, so for those who don't know, the SGs tend to be really light and a little bit top heavy, but this one feels like a really well-balanced head-to-toe guitar. Got a little more weight to it for sure.
Yeah, it's cool. It's got that Les Paul weight, but kind of in an SG
right.
vibe. This is cool. We'll do the Telly.
Wow, that's a beautiful Telly. I love the pale blue with the tortoiseshell pickguard.
Yeah, this I've been playing a lot the last few days. This is it's a stock Telecaster Nashville Telly is what they call it, and then I put in a Seymour Duncan, another JB there, and then switched out the bridge and then switched the pickguard. But this has been cool. I've never been a Telly guy until recently, and just tried it out for fun. And
well, it's got like the contoured neck, so it's easy to play down here.
Yeah.
Contoured body, easy to get your hands on it, easy to play the higher notes.
I've never had a 3 pickup guitar, and
right.
It's blowing my mind. Like when we do some of the clean channel parts, kind of blending.
So we got hum at the bottom and 2 noiseless.
Yep.
All right, so it's very
Telly,
clean,
noiseless Strat.
no noise.
Yeah.
Bluesy, funky, rock and roll.
All stock tuners.
Right.
You know, I was
nice.
really impressed with the build quality on this guitar.
Cool.
So, yep.
Now, where'd you guys pick up these guitars over the years? Is it just things that you've had for a long time? Is it stuff you picked up recently for this show? How often do you change guitars, you know?
We go in spurts. Like a lot of times we'll get stuff if we work with a company and that'll be the one for years, like that and a backup. Recently we've kind of started trying a lot of different stuff out. And
yeah, it's cool because if you watch Hawthorne Heights over the years, if you look at the videos from back in the day and moving forward, you see a lot of different guitars, lots of different gear. You guys are always trying new stuff,
we like
progressing.
to have fun with it.
Sure.
Especially last year, the guys in my band teased me. I bought a lot of gear last year. I started building a studio at my house.
Gear guy.
Yeah, and I just kind of went a little nuts with it.
Hey, no worries. So what else we got on here? I didn't mean to derail you.
This, we just started doing some stuff with Hagstrom.
Oh, wow.
And,
okay.
They sent this out. JT's been playing this.
That's a very cool
This is an
guitar.
H3. They reissued these in the last couple of years, modeled after some of their older stuff. But I love it's all spec like the old school ones. The real thin neck, you can fly on this guitar.
Wow.
And then we had JT really liked the color and the setup of this guitar so much, and he's an old school SG looking guy too.
Right.
But it was all single coil, and I have one of these with a single coil, and it rips in the studio. Like for the new Hawthorne Heights record we're working on, a lot of the demos, I've used it on all the clean channel parts because these are all like tone filters, and then you can turn them off. There's so many options with this guitar. But for live, he really wanted to play it live, and I was like, it's a single coil, so
sure.
we haven't
about it being thin.
We haven't played it on hot rails in years.
Okay.
But Duncan sent us out hot rail, and
nice.
my guy Chris Wright back in Dayton runs Right Field, and he does guitar repairs and stuff. Does all of our work when we're back home. He took this and somehow managed, even though it didn't fit, to put in a Telly hot rail in this, and this thing rips. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like he's been playing this live.
Looks
quite a
comfortable.
bit.
Low action. Got a little tremolo action down here.
Yeah, we're not doing that live.
Don't use that much.
I tell him keep your hand away from that. Don't hit it. But
sure.
It's cool. It's got this really cool kill switch, so you can sit there and you can get
Oh,
down.
nice. Look up and down and get that little effect.
Make the effects. But
really interesting pickguard. Great body shape. That's cool.
Yeah, he got this right before the tour, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, and obviously the guitar wasn't made to have this in it, but
What's going well for you?
this through this
Right.
sounds awesome.
Very
Really
cool.
stoked on
Love it.
What else we got here? Let's do this guy. This is a Telly that JT's been playing. It's a 72 Deluxe.
Nice.
And Fender got him a custom seafoam green spray on it. Yep. stock otherwise besides the paint job. But
Custom color, okay.
Yeah,
Matching
custom color.
headstock
Yeah.
and body.
This guitar sounds, plays, and stays in tune great. I've been really happy. Like I'm his biggest critic because when I'm overdoing the thing, I'm always listening for what's going on. And we're doing 200 shows a year, so we're I'm used to how everything sounds, and like we
anything off, you
we kind
pick
of
up
critique each
instantly.
other hard about especially trading gear. And this guitar has been awesome. Like every time he's been throwing this in the set, it sounds great.
I love it. I love the pattern and the maple. Everything about it's really nice.
Yeah, I have. It's called a Mocha Brown. It's one of the reissues, but it's a few years older. Stock version of these, except for I put in Mojo Tone wide range humbuckers at home, and it's for the studio at home. It's one of my favorite guitars. These guitars, the Tele Deluxe reissues, just sound awesome.
They look great.
So,
Now, let me just ask you, I see the bullet coming out, so it's easy to adjust. I'm just curious, for a lot of us guitar players at home who see you guys on stage, who does like the tech work for you? Changing the strings, adjusting the neck? Do you guys just do it yourselves?
my boy here, Blake
does it nice.
Yeah.
Great, man. Keeping these guys in tune, in line. Awesome.
Blake, this is Austin, Texas finest right here.
There you
My man
go, all
Blake's,
right.
We've got one tech out with us, and there's a reason, because he kills it.
There you go.
Doing it all.
Thanks, Blake.
So,
Awesome, man. Great.
Blake's one of those dudes that knows a little bit about everything.
Right.
So aside from teching, he's tour managed. This is what, your 5th Warped Tour?
Yeah.
He's tour managed, he's done merch, he's done teching. So it's like if we have, Blake can be on stage and there can be an issue at the front office, and Blake runs, figures it out, comes back, tunes the guitar, hands it to you, and ready to go. So
My drums, my mic, my guitar. Blake,
Yeah.
Blake, where you at?
yeah, jack of all
Fantastic.
trades. He's
That's
probably
awesome.
he's the biggest rock star on this tour.
Great.
I guarantee.
What a compliment. There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great telly. I love it.
Yeah,
Looks
these
good. Sounds great.
the wide range humbuckers, like I've played them in the studio. I didn't know how those things would hold up live for a lot of high gain stuff. But particularly through the Blackstars, they sound awesome. I've been really
Well, I don't know if
impressed.
it's just the way you're holding it, but it seems like the strings are really close to them pickups too.
Yeah,
so that's got to wail. That's got to
we
be a
ride
loud
them
guitar.
high for sure. Yeah,
Nice.
They sound good.
Cool. So what do we got next?
I forgot to mention too, with the Hacksham stuff, we have some stuff that's staged for the show, but we also have a black Patchmere model.
Okay.
That's
cool.
awesome. It's like an
Wow.
ST, the thickest maple cap I've ever seen on that style guitar. Yeah, and we have a super suite that's out that I've been playing. That for hollow body. Like I was a little skeptical on using a hollow body to a high game amp
Right,
live
yeah,
outside,
yeah.
but it's awesome. It never feeds back. It's like
Sure.
it's exactly what I wish a 335 would be. It rules. Got this guy. Fender did this for me before the tour.
Wow. Look
It
at that.
hasn't made its way to the set, but I think it's going to go soon. It actually showed up after we left, and I had to have it shipped to Blake because we
Okay.
did Canada before, and then Blake had to fly with it. But it's a Jaguar. It kind of looks like a Jaguar Jazzmaster hybrid because it doesn't have all the switching.
Right, yeah,
For
good
live,
point.
I didn't want anything. I tend to
Yeah.
give it the business, and I didn't want
Sure.
to be knocking all the switches around. Stock pickups, and they shot the headstock too. So
Is this a custom color for you as well? Just like
yeah,
JT's
this
was?
is a Lake Placid blue. Yeah.
Nice. So matching head, matching body.
And I don't know if it's just because without the switching, I'm sure it's still hollow in it, but this is like substantially heavy for a Fender. Like
Oh,
I was,
gotcha.
when I got this guitar, when he showed up with it, I was like, whoa, like it's, it sounds great. I'm real
Now,
stoked.
correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like most of the guitars you pull out for yourself are rosewood necks. Do you have a preference, or
I prefer the rosewood.
okay. You find it a little denser, a little easier to
Yeah,
to bend
you know,
and riff on?
I've heard a lot of people and a lot of players that are like, how you can't, they're like, it's all myth, you can't tell, but it might even be just a mental thing. Every
Sure.
guitar I've had, except for my Tele Deluxe, and I have a Mustang at home that's maple, but other than that, everyone I've had is always
Hey,
had
even if it
rosewood.
is mental, it still counts, right? It's
Yeah,
how you
I've
feel when
just-
you're playing it.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I've just always been a rosewood guy, and
That's a beautiful finish. That was a good choice.
yeah, I'm
I
stoked
commend
on
you
it.
for that one. That's nice.
This turned out really cool.
So it hasn't made its way on stage yet, but will soon.
No, we just got it, and we had to get it
Okay.
set up and everything, you know. But it'll.
Blake had to work his magic on
Yeah,
it.
Blake just
Take it
finished
on the
setting
flight,
Up,
set it up.
yeah, setting it up on the plane in flight. Then over in Bass World, we've got.
So it looks like Matt just has one choice. That's his go-to.
Yeah, he has two of these. He has a black one as well, but it's staged right now.
Okay.
Matt's been playing G&L. Our bass player Matt right now has
Oh,
been
great.
playing G&L for years. This thing, he's got this one and a black one, and they tend to, depending on his mood, which one comes out, he gets cleaned up, has our guy back in Dayton set him up, and this thing stays in tune, sounds awesome.
Look how narrow the neck is at the top, man.
Yeah.
That's really easy to play.
One of Matt's favorite stories about this bass is doing the second record, If Only You Were Lonely. They're recording with the producer and they're in the studio. And you know how producers, like, they have, this is the bass I use on every record. I don't care what you bring, they're using this bass through this amp and this Sans amp. And Matt got this thing out at pre-production, and the guy was so stoked, he was just like, nope, you're using your bass.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah, David Bendeth. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, this is his go-to. This thing's rock solid. Never had any issues between this one and the black one. It's pretty awesome.
That sounds good. Well, I think that's all the time we have, guys. Matt, I can't thank you enough for taking us through the rig rundown. We really appreciate it. Thanks again for doing this. I hope you guys have a great show tonight.
Thank you.
And once again, I'm Dave Stutz. This is Mark from Hawthorne Heights. We'll see you next time right here on the Spotlight.